Yes, it's the most wonderful time of the year. There's so much good stuff that happens this time of year. No matter what you celebrate, there's just like more generosity around, more good deeds happening. And then there's this immense pressure, these unreasonable expectations, completely being off routine and off schedule. So like either you're super overcommitted, overwhelmed, and overbooked on one hand, and at the same time, you've got downtime that you can really easily unintentionally spend and feel shitty about it later.
Yep.
So it's a tough one to tackle.
Welcome to the Marriage and Motherhood podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Perda. As a marriage coach who's been through and still going through the trenches of motherhood myself, I get it. Life gets busy and sometimes your relationship takes a back seat. But guess what? You can feel like a couple while raising kids, and I'm here to help. Join me each week here as we dive into the messy but fulfilling world of marriage and motherhood. From navigating conflict to reigniting that spark, we're going to chat about it all. So, if you're juggling mom life with wife life, this podcast is for you. And hey, if you love what you hear, I'd be so grateful if you could rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Here's this week's episode. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Marriage and Motherhood podcast. Here today, we have someone who's not been on the show, not once already, but twice. So this is Marisa. This is her third time here. Obviously, I really love her. She's actually one of my real life friends that I've met through starting this business. And I'm so excited to have her back here to share about what she's doing, what she's sharing to help us navigate the holidays. Because let's be real here. It is stressful as fuck during this time. And I thought, who wouldn't want tips on how to simplify and help us enjoy this holiday season a bit more, especially as moms, right? We put so much on ourselves. So before we begin, I want to introduce to you Marisa Lonic. She is a certified life and business coach, keynote speaker, 3X author, top-rated podcast host, and the founder of Mama Work It. After spending nearly 15 years in corporate leadership positions, she shifted gears to become a full-time Time Momager and Biz Momager. Through her books, courses, and coaching programs, she helps busy moms juggling mom life, work life, wife life, fill in the blank life. Her time management and goal achievement strategies have helped the most overwhelmed mamas turn their dreams into reality, even when they thought they had no time to make it happen. When she's not supporting working parents with the daily juggle, you can find her cooking and baking delicious meals her kids may or may not eat, totally relatable, running in her neighborhood, and hanging out with the 5 amazing guys she calls family, aka her husband and 4 kiddos. Her kiddos are very sweet, by the way. I ran into her at Disneyland, and her twins were so loving to my 3-year-old, and it was amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me back again. I love that I have a little bit of like residency here now. Makes me feel so honored, so good, and for those sweet compliments and that beautiful introduction. So thank you.
Of course. Now, before we dive into this, like I said, she's been on the show before, and I want you to go check out the other episodes because they were very packed with helpful tips, okay? So first, go back to episode 12. She shares amazing time management tips that helps all moms out there. Okay, she's got 4 kids, so I think we can all take notes. And then the next one is episode 66. It's about thriving while the kids are home for the summer. And even though we are far from summer, because we literally just came off of it, I feel like what she shared during that episode is very applicable to what we're going into, which is Thanksgiving break. For us, we have the whole entire week off. And then winter break, where we have 2 weeks off. Like, what do we do with the kids? How do we survive it without losing our mind, getting snacks like 50 times a day? So go check those episodes out. But today we're going to be talking about the holidays. So before we get into that, can you share with the people who are new to you where you live, how old your kids are, and how you got into this line of work, helping moms with time management and productivity?
Yes, I'm going to do the succinct version because I can't wait to dive into this topic. And like you said, I've been here before. So really quick, I live in the Bay Area in California, not far from Michelle. And I'm a native New Yorker. So part of my story involves moving cross country back in the day when I was kind of a newer mom. My twins were 2.5 at the time. I was offered a job promotion. I used to be in the corporate world, that traditional working mom, rushing to catch the train, commuting during the rat race, all the things. And when I was first offered that, the ambitious woman in me was excited. Then the mom in me got scared because I thought, oh my gosh, at this point in my life, I felt like the hot mess express. I felt like I could not take on anything further. I already felt like I had zero time for myself, for anything I wanted to do. I was just in like a crisis mode. But obviously, spoiler alert, we ended up doing it. And what happened in that process was it really just propelled me into figuring out new ways to manage my time, manage my mindset, really thrive as a working mom. And that's what I did for a number of years. I mean, not every day, right? You can't thrive every single moment of every single day, but for the most part, I got it really together and I figured some shit out and I started blogging about it. Then I started writing more and more about it. I wrote my first book, grew my business alongside that corporate career, and then stepped fully into what I do now, which is Mama Work It and supporting women in the juggle of work life, mom life, spouse life, fill in the blank life. My kids are now 10, the oldest. That was interesting. Like that birthday was like a tearjerker for me, decade of motherhood. So 10 are the twins, and then 6 is my middle guy, and 4 is my youngest, which again, I'm like in a season, FYI, I know this is not this episode, but like I am like grieving the fact that I don't have any babies or toddlers in this house anymore. I was just at Target passing by that section and I had tears in my eyes, you guys. Like I was shopping in that section for the longest time and now I've graduated and it's a weird place to be, but I'm here for it. So
yeah, it's always weird when you're like, why are your clothes so big now?
why are you so big? Who are you?
And why do your clothes cost so much now? That's my experience with my teenager.
Yes.
Now I'm like, why do your clothes cost more than mine? And you're not even going to wear it for nearly as long.
Yeah, like the shoes especially.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
girl. Oh God. I'm like, I know you need them, but can you get a job now? Okay, so let's dive right in, right?
Let's do it.
Holidays. Whew. It's like kind of mixed, right? It's a mixed bag. It's like, ooh, magic and family time. And then you're like, oh, family time. Fuck. Like, that's a lot of family time, right? Like, so much. It's like, okay, we have no structure. What do we do with you? Now I feel in charge of curating this whole time so that you don't drive me crazy. You don't make a huge mess in the home, but also it's stressful because of all the planning. Like, what are we going to give people if you're hosting? I'm hosting Thanksgiving. Like, what am I doing for Thanksgiving? What am I making? What do I need to buy? When do I need to start preparing things? Who's coming? All of the things. And if you do advent calendars, the stockings, it's just like, whoo, it's a lot. It's a lot. So much. And then if you travel or if you have visitors coming, it's like, oh, now your home or your space is just not yours anymore. Or you're going into someone else's home and just like, now I'm going to be slightly uncomfortable for that time that I'm there. And I have to like be on my best behavior, whatever that looks like. Right. And your kids are hyped up on sugar. Like, so why do you think, or what have you experienced and seen in your clients? Why are the holidays so damn stressful for moms in particular?
Yeah. And you mentioned so many core things that we're dealing with, but let me just sprinkle in a little bit more hot sauce to that.
Yeah.
If you are working, whether for yourself or someone else, like outside the home, there's usually tons of deadlines this time of year, right? Additionally, let's just jab a little mom guilt in there some way, shape, or form.
So much mom guilt.
Okay. So there's tons of intense expectations, obligations, like unreasonable things. And it's all compartmentalized into like a 6 to 8 week period. Because I don't know about you, but like I don't start my holiday mindset in August like Costco does. I start it around now, you know?
Oh my God. I love that you said that because I go to Costco on a weekly basis because like Marissa, I have a huge, well, I guess it's subjective, but I have a huge family, right? I've got 2 kids. And I was so confused walking in. I was like, is it Halloween or is it Christmas? Why are you doing both? Like, what's happening here?
It started when my kids were going back to school.
Right?
I started seeing all the holiday stuff, which I get it. Retail, it's a whole
Sure.
different animal. But like my mind is usually not there until about November,
Yeah.
after Halloween typically. And so think about it. It's like a 6 to 8 week period. And it's just a unique beast compared to the rest of the year. Yes, it's the most wonderful time of the year. There's so much good stuff that happens this time of year. No matter what you celebrate, there's just like more generosity around, more good deeds happening. There's just a lot of good movies, there's just good
Mhm.
stuff. And then there's this immense pressure, these unreasonable expectations, this completely being off routine and off schedule. So like either you're super overcommitted and overwhelmed and overbooked on one hand, and at the same time, you've got downtime that you can really easily unintentionally spend and feel shitty about it later.
Yep.
So it's a tough one to tackle.
Yeah, definitely. And why is Thanksgiving so close to Christmas? Can we just say that? Like, why can't that be a
Who
different
made
time?
that happen?
Right? Like, why is it like one after the other? It's like, oh, I got to figure out costumes and like if we're decorating. And then all
Right?
of a sudden it's like, oh, Halloween's over. Switch your decorations to Thanksgiving if you do that. Or if you're not doing that, switch it to Christmas.
Yeah. No, I know. It's crazy. Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, but on the other hand, it's like growing up, I loved it because I didn't have to do any of the work. I just showed up and it was amazing. But now as parents, it's like, fuck. So this year we
Mhm.
didn't even decorate for Halloween. It's just like, you know what? Screw it.
Yeah.
And we still don't have Christmas decorations up, but whatever. We'll get to it eventually.
Mhm. Yeah. They'll make it happen when the time is
Yeah.
right.
Yes. So, what are some of the habits, some tips and tricks that you love to share to help moms experience what is traditionally chaotic and
Mhm.
overwhelming for moms?
Yeah.
That, by the way, spoiler alert, she has a holiday habits workshop. So you're going to get a little bit preview from this, but like, what do you share to help moms get through this without feeling like they need like a year-long vacation afterwards?
Yeah. Yeah. And we go into 5 different habits in that workshop. And I cannot wait to give you this sneak peek today. So, one of the first things we talk about in there is regard to having a solid system. So, I've been doing this workshop live a lot this month. I've been doing it virtually. And I always love to ask, like, do you have a solid system working for you? Because most people have something, right? Either a paper planner or their electronic calendar or whiteboard in their kitchen or whatever it is. They rely on some sort of system, hopefully. And if you don't, that's okay. Like, no shame. Maybe it's time to get a system to help you out in that way. Now, whether that's working for you or it's not working for you. And when I say that, I mean, if it's working for you, you actually follow it. It's a simple system. It's consistently being used. It's helping you out. If it's not working for you, an example of this would be like if it's your electronic calendar and you get those reminders all day, but you actually just swipe left and you don't even really do them. Or maybe some days you fill out your paper planner, some days you don't, or you fill it out, but you don't actually look back on it and follow what you intended to do. That would be a system that's not really working for you. So honestly, either way, this season is a good time to level up with a system because it's unique, it's different. Again, you're off schedule, kids are home from school, work, you have more holidays off, or maybe you're busier than ever in your job and you've got more stuff on your social calendar, even like more events that you're going to that wouldn't normally be in your routine. And so you need a reliable, solid system to help you through this season, even if you need to add another tool or change up your system. And I know that's hard. Change is hard. Like maybe you lean really hard into your electronic calendar, but this might be a season specifically where maybe a whiteboard in your kitchen is going to make more sense because maybe a pain point right now is that you're feeling the weight of the world, that you are having to manage all of these things. But a whiteboard in your kitchen would help everyone in your home have visibility to what's in your brain. So it would help you in that way. You don't have to adapt this forever. This could be a 6 to 8 week additional tool that you take on. Because again, I know change for people like can be scary, but you may end up realizing during that time that actually this solves a problem you didn't even know you had. So that's one thing I'd really lean heavily into, is thinking about what would really magically give me like an additional resource, additional support, maybe solve a problem that I know I'm experiencing right now, or something that I anticipate the holiday season's going to bring for me.
Oh, I love that so much. And yeah, it doesn't really matter what your system looks like as long as it works for you. That's what matters.
Yes.
And I mean, I love having a whiteboard in the kitchen. That helped so much to prevent my kids from asking me, "What's for dinner?"
Same, girl.
I
Same.
fucking hate that question. Like with a passion.
And you get it probably from each person in the house daily. So like you're answering it 4 to 5 times a day if you have a big family like we do. Yeah.
Yeah, now they know to look. And I even put down like what they need to get done so that they can have screens so they can stop asking me, "Can I go on my
Mm,
tablet now? Can I play the
great
Switch?"
idea.
Like, did you do what's on the board? I don't want to like manage you. You got to like self-manage.
Yeah. Well, you're teaching autonomy and
Yeah,
independence, right? So like it's a win for you because you don't feel like a micromanager all day.
right.
And it's a win for them because they're learning responsibility and independence.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, what else do you have?
Okay. I'm going to skip around because I want to
Yeah.
tell you my faves, and I don't know if we have time for all of these. So another one that I love to talk about in the workshop is called a batch party.
Ooh, I mean,
Yes,
party.
it's a
That's
party,
already a great
baby.
word.
I know when I talk about this one, people are usually like, what?
Those two
So let
words
me
don't go
explain.
together.
Let me explain. So, do you have like a not so fave task that you do each holiday season that, of course, you could say no, you could set a boundary, but like you actually want to get this done and you need to be the person to get it done. So it's going to land on your plate, right? But you don't really like doing it.
Hmm.
Do you have one of those?
It's a
If
good
not, I have a
question.
good example of one that happens for me.
I don't know if I do.
Maybe it's like wrapping gifts or shopping for gifts or
Okay. Yeah, I don't like rapping. That's a good
okay,
one.
good example. Okay. So I don't know if this happens to you, but for a lot of people, when they have a task that's not really their favorite thing and it sits kind of in the procrastination waiting room in our
Yep.
brain, we tend to subconsciously worry about this, stress about this, think
Mhm.
about this, even though we don't want to. It's like nagging us and it's taking up really precious time and energy. It's sort of like not allowing us to really feel joy during that season until it's done.
For sure.
And yet we don't want to do it. So we typically wait till like the night before and then we're scrambling and just like
Staying up
throwing
late.
throwing stuff together, giving like birthday gift bags, whatever whatever it is, right? So you're like, oh, this has some red on it. It'll work. So here's the recommendation for a task like this. You batch party it. What does that mean? You tap into your system, whatever that is. You look at your calendar, you look for a day and a time frame that you want to commit to getting this done. So maybe you just decide like, okay, December 15th is my day. I'm blocking stuff from this day. Like I'm blocking my meetings, I'm blocking whatever it is. I'm putting aside 3 hours, 4 hours. Pick a time block, right? You schedule it into that system and you get all your supplies ready beforehand. So make sure you've got your tape, your paper, your bags, your tissue, your scissors, all that stuff. Maybe you pop on some of your favorite jams. Maybe make a good Spotify playlist. Parties have music, right? Maybe you even invite people to this party either to help you or to wrap their own gifts with you. So you're doing it in unison in company, right? You're actually 95% more likely to get a task done if you have an accountability partner. So if you can make this a party with others, even better. And you do it. You literally just do the task. You hold yourself accountable, you get it done, and then you rest easy. Like this doesn't eat up at you anymore. It doesn't stress you out, keep you up at night, make you feel like you're a hot mess because you haven't wrapped your gifts until the night before, whatever it is, but you do it.
Oh my gosh. I actually like without knowing it, I did that last year.
Nice.
Yeah, I totally did that. I did it with my sister. She wrapped her gifts, I wrapped mine, and we threw on what was it that we watched? I think it was like Sweet Home Alabama or something, like a feel
Yes,
good movie. I love Reese Witherspoon.
me
And
too.
it made it feel so much less of a dreadful activity to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And can I just say, like, a lot of these tips, yes, they're going to be really good for you during the holidays, but like, this is something you could utilize in your life come January, February, March, April, May. Like, this does not have to be a sole thing that you do this season. Maybe you have other cringy things throughout the year that you really kind of dislike doing, but you know you have to get done. This could be a way for you to tackle that with more ease.
Yeah, I actually do that for laundry. I absolutely hate folding laundry. There will be weeks where I'm like tired, like just too tired. There's just too much going on. And there's going to be baskets of clothes just sitting on the floor in my room. And I will just have to like throw it on my bed and like make it a problem for me because I want to get in my bed, but I can't because there's something there. And so then I find like a favorite show, like whether it's like, I don't know, right now it's like Bachelors in Paradise or some other fun, ridiculous show. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, this is my reward. I get to watch the show while I do this. And I have to do it because I have to get in bed.
Yeah, I've done that trick with the leaving the clothes on the bed. It doesn't work out so well for me.
No?
No, like I'll be so exhausted sometimes that I will just put those clothes back in the basket or
My
off the
husband
bed.
does.
It's terrible. No, I know what you mean though. Like the laundry is one of those things.
Never
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah, it's tough. I've tried all different things. I wish I had a good laundry hack. I mean, I've tried so many different ways to tackle the laundry situation here. And I simply have not found one that I can commit to consistently. I mean, I do feel better when I'm more on top of it throughout the week rather than when
Of
I
course.
do it only like twice a week and it's just insane. But I think for me, the real flex in my life is going to be when I can just pay someone to help me do this or
Oh,
to just do it for me.
100%. For sure.
And I mean, could I probably do that now? Yes. Do I probably need to like get over myself, get out of my own way? Also, yes. So, that's another episode.
Yeah. Well, also, your boys are old enough to fold their own laundry, so there's something for you.
Well, you know what, Michelle? Every time I go away, like overnight from this home and the laundry falls on my husband here, he gets the kids to do it.
There you
Like,
go.
I don't know if it's a mom dad thing, whatever, but like, I've not been successful in that. So maybe
Have
I need
him
to.
tell them to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I haven't done the laundry for my oldest in years. And he's almost 14 now. And it's so great. I cannot wait for my 7-year-old to get to that space. And I feel like he's almost there. Folding is still kind of difficult for him, but I'll get
Yeah.
him to fold some things. And my daughter loves folding, but she literally is not capable of it yet because she's 3. But she like wants to do it. So I'm like, here, fold towels. That's like the easiest thing for you.
Yes.
But yeah, even starting with like, here, what about you guys like do socks and underwear? That is so easy. Or like,
Yeah.
here, fold your pants. I feel like shirts are harder.
Yes.
But
yeah, we've done parts of it, but it hasn't been able to stick. We got to get on a better routine with that one for sure.
It's so funny. Like there's always so much going on. Like you want things to stick, but then we ourselves aren't so good at consistently telling.
Right? I don't even have my own consistent laundry routine down. So maybe I need to get that done first and then I can recruit people here to help out.
For sure, for sure. Are there any other favorites you want to share?
I mean, yes, how much time we got?
Maybe just one more.
Okay, one more. Okay, let's do this one. Let's end on a fun note. Okay. So one of the habits that we go into or the tips I give during the workshop is called leave room for fun. And I don't know about you, but like this has been a consistent theme for me as an adult that I don't, and especially as a mom now responsible for other people, I don't necessarily prioritize fun stuff where I'm fully present, like partaker in that. Right. So like, even if I've got fun things on the calendar for the family scheduled, oftentimes I'm physically there, but sometimes I'm not mentally there.
Sure.
I'm thinking about other things or I'm stressed about something else. And like, that's really not where the core memories are made. Right. It's not. Like everyone around you can feel that energy. It doesn't feel good. It feels like something you're just checking off your list. And we're kind of just trying to squeeze these fun things in around all these other commitments that we've made and areas where we probably should be setting more boundaries or letting go of perfectionism or whatever else is kind of eating up our time and energy. So I would encourage you, if you are listening to this, I would encourage you take a few minutes, brainstorm 5 fun things that you want to do this holiday season. Okay, these can be with your family, with your significant other. These can be solo things, things with friends, like don't have to all be family oriented. And then I'm going to tell you to pick at least one. If you want to be a high achiever, go for 3, but at least one. And right now, in this moment, get going with it. So what does that mean? Either put it on your calendar, set the day and time, block it off, call or text the person you want to do it with and get that conversation rolling. Put a Post-it on your laptop or wherever you are, like a reminder on your phone to like research tickets to whatever or whatever it is you want to do. But take some sort of immediate action because I don't know. I mean, we've all been guilty of like, we have these ideas floating around in our brain, but we don't write them down. And there's so much power in writing things down, like 42% more likely to do something if you just wrote it down. So write it down. And B, then we don't follow through. We don't take action. So take action in this moment right now. Like obviously, if you're driving, if it's not safe to do so, don't do it. But as soon as it is safe and you are able to do that, do it right now. Like hold yourself accountable, make it happen. Start prioritizing the fun things and then squeezing the other things in, not the other way around that we're sort of taught to do or we're used to doing or that feels like the normal right thing to do as an adult.
Yes. And if you are driving, use that voice activated feature in your phone to like send you a reminder when you are in a place where you can actually take action. Okay. So that can be your action step. You don't have to wait because I know how mom brain works, right? The next thing happens, you're like, oh, wait, I remember now.
Yeah.
It's
like when you walk into a room and you have no idea why you're in there.
My gosh.
It happens to me like on a daily basis.
Did you see that reel? Are you the one that shared it? Someone shared it. It was like you walk into a room and you're like kind of like moving in all different directions because you don't remember what you're trying to do, or like you have 5 things that you want to do, but you're not going anywhere straight. You're just kind of like glitching.
I did not share that, but that sounds very relatable.
That is me on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love this so much because during the holiday season and even just everyday life, but especially during the holiday season, I feel like we are so like checklist mode, right? Get all these things done. Anything that we think of that's outside of the home, whether it's like go check out decorated homes. So we have something local here where there's like an actual street where they like every year go full out on the decorations. But I feel like when we do that, it's kind of like a chore for us. We're like, oh, we're doing this for the kids. And we're just more focused on the kids having fun. But what about you, right? Like there's something about us having fun that injects so much more energy into us because it's like something that's for us, like bonus if it's for everybody, right? But don't be afraid to plan something that you enjoy. You get to enjoy this season also. It's not just about making magic for your kids. And when we are feeling more joyful, we are better parents. Like there's just no disputing that.
For sure. And also like you are going to be able to show up more present, more joyful, like the best version of yourself if you've done that first. So like maybe you have a 2-hour date by yourself that Saturday, and then that night you all go on the drive to look at the lights and you're like in a way better mood, you know?
Yeah. For us, we like to incorporate dinner with friends before we go as a family to go look at the lights. So like the kids can sit together at the restaurant. We'll sit together. Obviously we're at the same table, but like, you know, they're in their own section. And then that way we get our fill of connection and fun without feeling like, oh gosh, like, okay, you're being too messy or can you eat your dinner? Like, it's just very like low key. And then we head out and walk to the place and it's just like, oh, look at how fun the lights are. It's just like so much better.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So tell me more about this workshop. We've kind of like touched on it, but can you tell us more about who it's for and what people can get out of it and why they need this in their lives?
Well, I think it's basically for everyone who feels any sort of stress during the holidays, but I think especially for moms because we tend to really carry that weight with us of being like the magic makers and the ones who are really making the season as awesome as it is for our families. So, if you are feeling any sort of that pressure right now, this workshop will definitely help you. It's pretty quick. So it's just under an hour. So if you're like, who's got time for that? You have time for that. And what I love about
Because
it
it's
too,
going to
because I
save you
mentioned,
time.
yeah, exactly. And what I love about it too, I know I mentioned this is like the writing down and the accountability. It comes with a downloadable PDF, which I'm calling a workbook, not to intimidate you. It's 2 pages, so chill out. It comes with this accompanying workbook. And I ask you questions during this, and you could pause it and, do it on your own time. But it allows you to really customize and personalize what you're learning and apply it for not only retention, but also accountability. Like, I don't want you to watch this and then not do anything and not have it affect your life. I want you to watch it and I want you to take immediate, tangible action steps to really create like a season that's different than years past. So it comes with that. And as a bonus, too, for anybody who buys this in the month of November, I'm also including my productivity to-do list hacks resource. This is like a step-by-step way to tackle your to-do list so that you don't look at it and feel overwhelmed, freeze, and don't know where to start, get decision fatigue, all that stuff that happens with to-do lists. So this is like a step-by-step way to tackle that. And I think especially during the holidays where our to-do lists feel like they're growing faster than they're shrinking, this is a really great resource to complement what you're learning.
I love that. And share with our listeners the best part.
Yes, it is currently on promo for the month of November. So that is expiring very soon. But if you use code HHNOV23, it stands for Holiday Habits November 23, it is 75% off. So it is $37 for all that good stuff.
And who doesn't love a good deal? Like, I know I love a good deal.
I
So
love a good deal. Love it.
take advantage of that if you loved the tips that she shared, because there's so much more inside of that workshop. Okay. So, can you share with us how the listeners can connect with you?
Yes. So visit my website for sure. It's www.mamaworkit.com, spelled MAMA. On there, you'll find tons of free resources, ways to work with me. If you want to schedule a call with me, I offer a free 30-minute breakthrough call, but other tons of free content on there to help you. I send a weekly newsletter, so be sure to subscribe to that. That's all about time management, productivity, hacks, strategies, and other awesome kind of resources available. And on social, I am mostly active on Instagram at the handle Let Mama Work It, but also on Facebook and also on LinkedIn. I would say connect with me personally on LinkedIn. If you feel like we vibe, send me a DM, connect with me on there. I would love to hear how this episode was for you. Was it helpful? What was your best takeaway? Are you joining us in the Holiday Habits Workshop this year? Tell me all the things.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So, as you know, since you are a resident on this podcast,
Yes.
I love to end the show by asking guests a question so listeners can get to know you better.
Oh my
So,
gosh, I forgot this part. Go ahead.
on the subject of holidays, what
Yeah.
are you most looking forward to?
Ooh, this is such a cheesy answer.
Tell us.
Okay. But I feel like it's so in character of who I am. So I'm going to say it. I love during the holidays that it gives me the opportunity, not that I couldn't take this at other times of year, but it's like a standing thing, right? Every year where I really focus on goals, planning for the next year, goals, strategy. We vision board as a family for the following year. Like we each set goals and I have them listed for all of us and we kind of reflect on that. So as cheesy as that is, as like the time management nerd here, I love that because I'm a dreamer and I like to think about all the things that we can accomplish in the year ahead. And I'm not somebody who's all like super like resolution, January 1st, go all in. Like I set goals for the entire year. So every December, I reflect back on how I did. And each of the kids have a goal for the year. My husband has a goal, and then we vision board, like I said. So I love that.
That is so on brand. And this is just a testament to you like living exactly what you're doing. So thank you so much for being here. I loved everything that you shared. If you resonated with what Marisa shared, please go connect with her. More importantly, go check out that workshop because I think that could help you. And so if you are listening to this before the end of the month, go take advantage of that promo code. Otherwise, happy Thanksgiving. I'm so grateful for you listening to the show, supporting the show, sharing it, rating, reviewing it, whatever it is that you're doing. I appreciate you so, so much. And I will catch you back here next week. Bye, everyone. That's it for this episode. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe and leave a rating and review. I would so appreciate that. And if you love what I share here, then you're going to love and want to join my free private Facebook community that's also called Marriage and Motherhood. I hope to see and connect with you in there. Otherwise, I'll catch you back here next week for the next episode. Bye!